Hi, my name is Bill Crawley, and I'm from a company called Lithium Auto Works, and we make some of the most unique and effective detailing products in the world. And I'm excited to introduce you to our new show. We think you're going to find the show interesting because it's about how we come up with the ideas for our products. Also, how we use and test these ideas on cars that could use a little bit of love. We're going to talk about the problems we're solving and the detailing techniques we have learned and developed over the years, which bring these cars back to life. What makes it even more fun though is, when we're done, we give all the products we use on the show away to our viewers, so we can get your input and thoughts on how they work. Then we're gonna flip the car and start a new adventure. There you have it. Naturally, there are some other rules and nuances about the process, which we'll explain throughout the show. But most importantly, you're gonna see some pretty cool cars completely transformed and how you can do the same in your garage. And if that didn't get your attention, did I mention we give away a lot of cool stuff and make the viewer part of the development process? Well, time's a ticking, so let's move on to our first car. I love this car. It's a 2005 BMW X4. Oh, and here we have our other side here. This is Josh, our in-house critic. Is that what we call it?
Realist.
Realist. Thank you. Thank you.
Keyword on the bell part on this one, huh?
No, I absolutely love this car. You know, one of our rules in this show is it's got to be fun. It's got to evoke some emotion. And yeah, she's a little big boned right now, but
She's evoking an emotion, that's for sure.
But you know, part of the reason we do this show is because it helps us develop new products. And we're working on that new cutting compound, and Lord knows this paint could use some help.
Definitely could use some help.
Yeah.
But the cutting compound probably will do some work for sure. So.
And I wanted to go with silver because silver is a tough color to work with. It really refracts light in a strange way. So if this cutting compound is everything we hoped it would be, it's really going to shine.
Right out, yeah.
Yeah.
Better than black.
Yeah. Well, with my skills, you don't want to touch black. But we should probably take a gauge reading and see how thick the paint is, because we're going to have to cut pretty deep.
Well, luckily I've got one on me here.
Oh, how convenient.
So, let's take a look here. Okay, it's a 7.1. So you've got some paint to burn.
We can do some digging. Good. So we've got paint issues.
Okay.
We're going to try our new experimental cutting compound, and I think we're going to really bring this back. But as you know, we first got to clay bar it and bring that. So we'll talk about that next. But
You could have washed her before you brought her in.
I did. That's how bad it really is. We'll pull out
for a treat.
We'll pull out the gloss meter in a minute, and I'll show you just how bad this paint is. Yeah. But how much do you think we paid for it?
52.
Not a bad guess. It's an 05 Z4. 5,200 is probably right around book value. We got it for $1,700.
Oh, okay. We can work with that.
We had a wife who wanted it out of the garage. Let's just say that. So I think we've got a lot of good things to work with.
Does she run for $1,700?
Oh,
that's one of the rules.
Well, let's define that later. Okay. But it does run, so we'll go from there. But let's walk through it and kind of show you some of the issues and some of the things we're going to have to take care of. As you know, with this show, we allow ourselves $500 to bring a car from this to unbelievable. So let's see if we can pull it off.
Let's take a look.
So let's finish our little paint exploration and go through the rest of the car if we could. Right here, don't get out the thickness meter on this one. We've lost most of the clear coat, but with a $500 budget, that's an expensive fix. So we're gonna try a little bit of wet sanding with some 1000 grit. We're gonna see if we can bring back out that shine without having to repaint.
Yeah, and I think we'll be able to have some success with that for sure.
Yeah.
We've worked on worse before, but my concern is the trim here, the cowling.
Okay. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but since you did, yeah.
I don't want to say anything.
We got some rough some real rough patches here on the trim, but you know how we love trim serum.
Yeah.
And we're working on a new ceramic coating too that we're gonna give a try on this and see if we can really bring it back to life, especially around the mirrors and things like that. Wow, we got some work to do. However,
work to do is an understatement, I think, but
wow. Okay. But I did follow one rule of the show. The interior is a good foundation.
There's no rips.
Yeah, no rips, no tears. It is a little bit sleazy. It does need some help. What that stain is over there, I'm not even gonna
We're not
ask.
going to ask questions like that.
Nope. Just put on the
Just some
hazmat suit.
Yeah, we'll get some hypercleanse on that.
Yep. Hazmat and get on in there, and we're gonna scrub it up. I think we can really bring these seats back to life, though. They're really dehydrated, but when we're done, you do some great work. We're gonna really be happy with what
Yeah, I
goes
should
on.
be able to work with the interior. I'm a little concerned about this tape here.
No, we're gonna replace that tape. We've got some other Scotch tape. We're gonna go this direction.
Yeah, because
though.
it's getting a little worn. So
Yeah.
I thought to myself, you know, we can run down to Kmart real quick and get a new thing of Scotch.
But do you like the color though? Okay, I think we're good.
Color's good. What's going on with the convertible top here?
So the
How's it
top's
looking?
not in bad shape.
Okay.
Okay, I think
Because that's
this
gonna
is-
eat into our budget hard if it's in bad shape.
Well, you know damn well we're never putting the top up anyway, so we'll just do that. Okay, but it's not bad. So we're in pretty good shape here. Back here, things get a little bit sketchier. You might have thought I was embellishing a little bit about the paint quality.
You got the gloss meter out.
Yes, just for proof. 49.4. Can we get a camera on that? Because we're gonna mark that and show how far we take this paint. 49 point, my lawnmower has a better shine than that. I mean, that is ridiculous. Can you say Krylon? So when we're done, we're gonna reshoot that same shot and see where we went. But the gloss meter is a good indicator that we got our work cut out. Here's some other things we have issues with. We gotta bring in, you gotta put that into the budget, the third brake light.
Third brake light.
The emblems are in terrible shape. We're never gonna detail our way out of those. So we've gotta get some new ones.
Okay.
And
We'll fit that into the budget.
yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. And as we come around, you know, I guess my real issue though is these wheels. They really date the car. And I know you know a guy, so let's
I'm gonna
see.
have to jump on the dark web.
Yeah.
We should be able to
See what you can do about coming up with some good OE used wheels in the 20-inch range.
Okay.
Let's bring this back up and to the future. You know, let's get it up to our
Let's get
decade.
it back up to where it needs to be. And I noticed that we have another work job here that we need to work on.
You don't miss a thing, do you? That's awesome. So, some paint issues. These paint issues, they're gonna be a problem. I'm gonna go to the body shop though, and we're gonna kind of cheap our way out of that one. I'm gonna touch them up and then we'll blend them in by buffing it. Yeah, we're gonna get some comments on the bottom of the page for that one. However, we got a $500 budget and we got some things to do. And I think the wheels are gonna take up $499 of it.
Yeah. I was gonna say we might be a little bit over budget, but
Yeah, but when she's done, once again, hood emblem.
we
No
love our
lower
emblems. We'll get that taken care of, but I'm a little bit concerned about the headlights if we're being honest with each other here.
Let's not be that honest. Okay. Looks like they clear coated right over the top of them and the clear coat's gone.
Yeah.
But what's gonna happen here is we'll wet sand them down, we'll buff them back out, we'll get them back to perfect.
Okay,
And
so I should put extra sandpaper then on my
on your budget.
my budget as well.
A lot of extra sandpaper. But that overall, you gotta admit, $1,700 and she runs beautifully.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we've got our work cut out, but I do think that we can detail this one and bell out, I think. So
I don't know if I want to bail. Spring's coming. All right, well,
You know the rules.
Let's get started then. So, as we know, the beginning of any paint work starts with clay bar. And so, let's go through some of the products that we're going to use to bring the paint back to its original beauty. And
well, tell me a little bit about, we've individually packed these.
we have. That's what we call fun size. Okay. And this is part of what happens when you make your customer part of the development process. We had so many people say, I love your Fore Clay. However, it's such a big block. I don't know what to do with the excess. It sticks to everything. So we decided to put them in bite size, one single
Which
serving.
is perfect.
Yeah.
Because you'll be able to use one per car usually.
One per car, zing it.
Yeah.
But if you drop it on the ground, you gotta zing it anyway and pull out the new one. Also great treats for the trick-or-treaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't beat that. So we're gonna start out with the clay barring, and then we're gonna go on to our X Factor, the new color correction cream.
Yeah.
That's really gonna transform that paint and cut it down. I hope we went aggressive enough with the formula because damn,
Yeah.
we need some help.
Tell me a little bit about our lube here. SiO2?
Well, it's kind of personal, but yes. So this is a little bit controversial because we have so many detailers who use our product and they get to this and they go, why in the hell did you put the SiO2 in my clay barn? Because I want to color correct after I'm done. And the reality of it is most guys are not going to color correct their car on their own. And there is nothing you can do to your car that can make as big a difference as clay barn.
Right.
So by adding the SiO2, and you know we formulated 20,000 versions of this, by adding that, way too many. But by adding it onto the paint while you're lubricating, it does leave behind an incredible shine while it takes out the impurities. So I don't want to do a color correction. I simply want to get the sap, the tree bark, all the crap off of the paint. And man, it makes it feel like a supermodel's when you're done. I mean, that SiO2, the combination has never been done before. So we stepped outside the box and did it. And I gotta say, pretty proud of the results. So we're gonna start out doing that. And then after, we'll talk about polishing and the next steps in the interior and go from there.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
Let's get started.
All right, let's do it. Okay, for those of you who have never clay barred a car, I gotta tell you, it can be one of the most satisfying and transformative things you can do to your paint. And a lot of people say to us, I don't want to mess around with that. I could scratch my paint or ruin it. But honestly, if you do it correctly, there's very little chance you're going to cause damage. And really, when I say correct, that means keep it lubricated. Plenty on the clay, plenty on the surface. But when you're done, you can go from having a scratchy surface and a paint that's not that smooth to one that's like glass in a matter of minutes. And I'm going to show you some techniques that we do to really get the most out of it. But when I start out, I like to spray the clay and the surface and make sure that it's plenty wet. And I start with how the wind goes across the panel, back and forth, back and forth. And then when I get done there, I'm going a crosshatch this way. And this way I make sure that all the pollutants, the tar, the road grime, everything is lifted out of the paint. You can actually hear the paint get quieter as you make passes each time. And anyone who doesn't think it's an effective and necessary part of a paint correction has just got to look at that. That's how much dirt and grime we took out of a 2-foot square area, and this car was clean when we started. At least we thought it was. So now let's get started, and we're going to clay bar the entire car before we go to the compound. So you know, a big part of this show is learning about our products and whether or not they work. So I thought as the last and final part of our paint correction, we'd do a little competition. You know, we've been working on a new ultra hard ceramic.
9H.
Yeah, and also
Our
CeramicSlam. So what if we split the car down the middle?
CeramicSlam, available at your finer retailers.
That was awkward.
Okay, come on. So we're doing a 50-50.
We're doing a 50-50. I'll do this side, you do the other side with that, and then we'll use the gloss meter and see how does it work out. Yeah. And we'll monitor over time and see which one lasts the longest. But I think it's going to be a great experiment because this is sample number 68, and we haven't been satisfied
69,
yet.
I think.
Possibly so. But let's see what it does and compare it to a product that we know we love. And not so easy to use, super easy to use, but let's see what happens.
It's better.
All right, let's get started.
Okay, sweet.
There you go. Okay, now that we have the entire car clay barred, and I gotta say, the results are amazing. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but it really brought this paint back to life. And we're excited to get started with the new part of this color correction. And I think I'm most excited because we've been working on this color correcting compound for quite a while. And the problem when you formulate is you can go too hot or too cold. And I'm not sure where this one ended up. So we're going to see if there's enough polishing compounds in there to really cut through some bad paint here. But what we're going to do is get going and start from there. And always remember, you want to wear gloves when doing this kind of stuff because everything that you touch will absorb into your skin. So just a word of caution. Also, it's important that you keep your cords away from the paint so you're not rubbing on there because you can cause a lot of damage as you go. And you really want to use about 4 dots, dime size, and kind of go from there before you get started. Just plop it through, get it spread out. And remember, a little goes a long ways here. So we're going to start out with that, and we're going to get moving on color correction. Let's see what happens. So you saw I might have overdone that one a little bit, but this paint really needs some help. So we went back and forth quite a bit, but I am liking what the compound is doing. It's really starting to level that paint out. And now let's finish the rest of the car and see what we come up with. So we've almost got the exterior of the car completed, and next week when you come back, we'll have new logos, we'll have put the new wheels on. You're really gonna have a tough time recognizing this car. And then we're gonna work on the interior. But for right now, this is where we're gonna stop. Come back next week and you're gonna watch this car transform.